Top 5 relationship mistakes of a husband. Hi friends, welcome to Marriage Realities, a comprehensive relationship channel. Today's video is all about the common relationship mistakes a husband makes. Yes, the mistakes you commit as a husband makes your wife feel highly stressed and tense just living with you. Are you taken aback? You always feel that you are a loving husband and that your wife is lucky to be married to you. But your wife thinks otherwise. Your wife feels that you're unloving, insensitive, and completely ignorant about what she expects from you. Your wife is true when she feels that you know nothing about her emotional needs. As a man, you always feel that it's the duty of your wife to look after you and your family. And so you coolly withdraw away from family duties as if it was none of your business. You think earning money for your family is your only duty, and that when you earn good money for your family, you're being a good and committed husband. You're wrong in feeling so. When your wife married you, she had great dreams that you would care and love her for eternity. Invariably, you shatter her expectations by your insensitive behavior. You never make your wife feel loved and cared by you. Instead, you make your wife overburdened with one-sided family duties and commitments. You do not thrust family duties on your wife deliberately. You commit this relationship blunder because your male mindset thinks that your wife is only doing her duty. Though you love your wife, you have many benchmarks for her. And you consider her a good wife only when she fulfills all the benchmarks you set for her. Sadly, your wife finds your benchmarks a little too much for her. You want your wife to mother you. You want her to place you in a pedestal. You want your wife to look after your home and children. You want her to handle family issues all by herself. You also want your wife to be unconditionally supportive towards you. And you want her to be an excellent cook. It is really strange that you have so much expectations about your wife. Stranger still, you never know that your wife too has many expectations about you. Do you know how hurt your wife feels when you ignore her sensitivity and emotional needs? Shall we now look at the top 5 mistakes you make as a husband? This might help you to avoid certain mistakes you constantly make. The number 1 mistake you make as a husband is you do not listen to your wife. Most of you do not listen to your wife. When your wife comes to you with any family problem, you always think that she's making a big deal about nothing. Your male mindset feels your wife is making mountain out of a mole. This is the reason you scarcely listen to your wife when she comes to discuss important family issues with you. When your wife talks with you, your attention wavers as you feel she's making a big issue about some non-existent family problems. So you keep your ears clamped and your attention is not on what your wife is saying but on what you are doing. Your eyes are on the TV, laptop, mobile phone or whatever work you're doing. Your inattentive body language shows your wife that you're unresponsive to her sensitive feelings. Your wife shrinks in agony for being so carelessly treated by you. This is a grave relationship mistake you constantly make as a husband. Why does your wife come to you with the worries about family problems? Your wife feels you two are committed towards your family and that you will support her in fulfilling family duties instantly and spontaneously. But you invariably disappoint your wife. Do not ever commit this relationship blunder. What exactly should you do to make your wife understand that she has your full attention? You should have direct eye contact with your wife when she's talking with you. You should listen attentively to what she has to say to you. You should also understand that family duties are always mutual. Your words should convey the message that you'll be supportive and helpful in solving whatever issues that may be worrying her. When you listen to your wife, it makes her feel that you are a loving husband who does not isolate himself from family duties. The number 2 mistake you make as a husband is you let your wife down before your family. Many a time your parents make degrading comments about the family of your wife, her upbringing and the way of doing things. Instead of supporting your wife, you play the ignorant. You do not spring to support your wife. You do not act protective towards your wife. When you're silent and do not utter a word in support of your wife, when your family is belittling her, she feels unprotected and neglected by you. On the contrary, if you spring to the support of your wife, when your family needlessly degrades her, she feels you're the best husband in the whole world. The number 3 mistake you make as a husband is not making your wife feel loved and cared by you. Before marriage, you make your wife feel your love in no uncertain terms. You're intelligent towards your wife during her dating days. You made much ado about the birthday of your wife during her love days. You often bought her surprising gifts. You talked with her for hours. Your total chivalry towards your wife before your marriage makes her build dreams that you'll be the same after marriage also. But after your marriage, you shock your wife by not displaying your love for her. And after marriage, you no longer remember her birthdays. You also become tight-fisted in spending for your wife after your marriage. No more loving kisses or hugs from you. When you display such unloving attitude towards your wife, she feels that you have stopped loving her. The simplest way to make your wife feel loved is to display the love you have for her openly and frankly so that she does not have doubts about it. The number 4 mistake you make as a husband is being unapologetic for the hurt you inflict on your wife. There are times you utter hurting words against your wife. Many a time you utter uncomplimentary words about her appearance. Your wife becomes your punching bag to your work-related stress and tension. You inflict great hurt in your wife when you abuse her verbally and physically. You make your wife feel unhappy by your unapologetic behavior. When you do not make your wife feel that you're sorry for the hurt you inflicted on her, it makes her feel very unhappy being married to you. But when you say, "I'm sorry," sincerely and as if you mean it, your wife feels her unhappiness disappear like magic. The number 5 mistake you make as a husband is taking your wife for granted. You feel that it is the duty of your wife to be responsible and committed towards your family. You do not for once feel that it is your duty to share her family commitments. You do not look after your children even as your wife is struggling with the never-ending household chores. You want your wife to look presentable while you go about pot-bellied and obese. You want your wife to fulfill your sexual needs whether she likes it or not. You are that selfishly concentrated on your physical needs. You well know that your life is relaxed and comfortable only because your wife is committed and responsible towards your family. And all your wife needs from you is a word of appreciation. When you appreciate your wife, it makes her feel that you're not taking her for granted. Such simple wishes of your wife, but totally ignored by you. When you look at your behavior from the viewpoint of your wife, you will know how indifferent you have been towards her. Did this video make you understand the many avoidable mistakes you make as a husband? Marriage realities will have many such relationship eye-openers. Subscribe to my channel to understand your marriage in a new light. Press the bell icon for updates about my latest relationship videos. Make love forever until death do us part your relationship goal.